Hello, everybody. Dear viewers of Status Management Magazine. Today we have a very, very special guest, um, Dr. Mehak Burza. She is an expert in Holocaust education, and she is located in New Delhi, in India. And we are conducting, of course, this interview via Zoom, great technology. And I am very lucky that she has participated this year in a course in which Dr. Boaz Cohen from the Western Galilee College and myself lead a group of students from all over the world in a very special course called Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Memory of the Holocaust. We will tell you more in our interview. I believe that her story is a great inspiration, not only for the academic world, but for any organization that is looking to um, grow through innovation and entrepreneurship. So, welcome, dear Mehak. I hope that it is okay, Dr. Burza, that since we have become close friends in our course, um, uh, let's start with your personal story. Kindly tell us about yourself.
First of all, thank you so much, Professor Edna, for having me here. So, yes, I'm often being told about, how to describe yourself. How do you describe yourself? And I would say that I'm an academic whose work spans multiple disciplines, notably Holocaust studies and English literature. So having done my bachelor's and master's in English literature, surprisingly, my PhD is on Holocaust studies. And my PhD thesis explores the gendered responses to the Holocaust from the vantage points of trauma, memory, and identity. As you see that the scholarship on women and Holocaust, it emanated only in the 1980s and 1990s when significant changes began to occur in the global milieu. So the lacuna of belatedness of the female response is examined through select female memoirs and diaries. And the primary and additional memoirs of Ruth Kluger, Eva Moses Core, and Lucille Eichengreen, they are analyzed through the repetition compulsion phenomena, fidelity to trauma, founding trauma as given by various trauma theorists. Then I also explore the diaries of Anna Frank, Ruchka Laskier, and Mary Berg. They are analyzed by taking into account their trajectory of publications along with the year of the discovery of the diaries. So you see, basically my thesis is an attempt to open up new lines of inquiry in the domain of women and Holocaust. And so there is a unique blend of literary insight and historical rigor in my work. As an English educator, my focus has been on developing the students' critical thinking, analytical skills, and an appreciation of literature. But as a Holocaust scholar, I'm dedicated to the study and teaching of the Holocaust, aiming to preserve the memory of this atrocity and its lessons for the future generations. And apart from this, I am also involved with various other global institutions in many capacities, driving Holocaust education and remembrance. So that's a short bio blurb about me.
Wow. Do you remember how you started? When did you first hear about the Holocaust?
Yes, my I would say that my academic odyssey has been a winding journey of discovery, igniting a passion for knowledge that transcends boundaries. So I come from a science background, and so I began in a realm of science where, there are empirical truths and analytical rigor. But my next passion was the realm of English literature. And it was in the realm of this English literature that I stumbled upon this hidden treasure of human experience, where the words whispered secrets of the soul. And my fascination with war literature developed during my master's, where I took it up as my optional paper. And I think since then, there was no looking back. This genre of war literature and trauma studies, it revealed the eerie intersection of science and art. And this sparked a quest to confront the unspeakable horrors of history, to listen to the testimonies of survivors, and to unravel the mysteries of human resilience. And you can say that my PhD journey then became a pilgrimage into the heart of darkness, where I sought to confront the shadows of human cruelty and emerge with a deeper sense of understanding of our shared humanity. And I think in the realm of English literature, I found a kaleidoscope of human emotions. But yet, it was in the heart-wrenching narratives of Holocaust literature that I came across this raw, unbridled testament to human capacity and to humanity's capacity for both unspeakable evil and unyielding resilience. And it is this dynamic interplay between disciplines that continues to fuel my passion for exploration and further discovery in academia.
Wow. Could you share with us who were your mentors along this unbelievable journey into studying the Holocaust?
It was, first of all, it was a challenge uphill to find mentors. But then I think I was blessed that I could talk to the Holocaust survivors and ask them. And then, of course, there were plenty of writers. And, when I talk about writers, it's an umbrella term that includes the writings of the Holocaust survivors, the trauma theorists, as well as the professors who teach the subject. So apart from interviewing the Holocaust survivors and their subsequent generations, uh, we have writers like Viktor Frankl, Myrna Goldenberg, Delia Offer, Rochelle Seidel, John Roth, Carol Rittner, Sarah Cushman, Alexandra Zapruder. Then you were there, Professor Boaz Cohen is there. And, there are these professors from whom I have personally learned a lot, especially from Professor Michael Berenbaum, James Young, Professor Niels Romer, David Patterson, Zev Garber, Kenneth Hansen, again, you, Boaz Cohen, Joanna Sliva, Mehnaz Afridi, Doris Burgeon, Bernice Lerner, there are many. So, and
Wow.
they have been extremely generous towards me, and I have been fortunate enough to read, review, and discuss their books with them, as well as my thesis with them. And I know that I'll always continue to learn from them.
Wow, unbelievable. And your PhD is from what university?
It is from the Jamia University in New Delhi.
Amazing. Um, was there a positive reaction to your unusual career path?
Yes, I mean, positive. It was a mixed reaction because it was seen as a topic, not taken up by many. In fact, I think I was the first one to take it up in my department. And I was questioned that why this topic? And I always feel that I choose to study the Holocaust because of its unparalleled significance in human history. And of course, there are many other genocides. And why only the Holocaust? So I always feel that raising issues related to the Holocaust is crucial for various reasons. Firstly, it serves as a stark reminder of the atrocities that humanity is capable of. Secondly, it honors the memory of millions who perished and acknowledges the suffering of survivors. Thirdly, understanding the Holocaust helps combat Holocaust denial and distortion, which you find in abundance in today's world. And finally, studying the Holocaust encourages reflection on broader themes such as prejudice, discrimination, and importance of standing up against injustice, fostering a more compassionate and informed society. And so through my PhD and after I finished my PhD, my primary goal, I would say, is to educate and raise awareness about the Holocaust and its significance, particularly within India. And an extension of this goal is also to combat the misinformation and distortion surrounding this very important, unparalleled historical event, which I think is the need of the hour. And thank you for the course that you developed, the Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Holocaust Memory, which I think is the best one could have during these times.
Wow, thank you. How did you find out about our course?
It was through social media where, the flyer was shared about the course. And what I was immediately intrigued by the title of the course. So it straight away, tugs at your heart, that Innovation and Entrepreneurship course in Holocaust Memory. And I was so privileged to be, accepted into the course by Professor Boaz Cohen. And that was something, the best that could happen to you sitting miles away.
Wow. And we enjoyed you so much throughout our course this year. Amazing. Since this course is project-based learning, PBL, you were developing a project with some other students, and it would be great if you could share the specific story of your project and your vision of how this can go forward.
So, in this course, I had the privilege of designing a project that merged technology and history in a unique way. And then along with my group members, David and Yahav, I gave them an idea of developing a project based on Rutger Laskier's diary. Because when I remember our first breakout room, when we were headed into the first breakout room, we decided, what are we going to do? And I had this thing in mind that we will do something with AI. And then the next question was, what is that something that we need to do? And then we embarked upon this mission of, merging AI, and because our goal was to develop a sustainable project that would, carry on in the future generations as well. And so I thought about it and I said, well, let's target the young audience. How about targeting the young adults and the teens who are, very prone to this misinformation through AI, and who read digital books more than they read the physical books. So inspired by the powerful story of Rutger Laskier. So she was a young Jewish girl who perished in the Auschwitz concentration camp. And then we utilized AI to translate excerpts from her diary into few languages. And then we had to sit and decide what those few languages were. So David provided the Hebrew, Arabic translation, Yahav provided the Hebrew translation, and I came up with the English, Hindi, and Urdu translations of that excerpt. So I think this project not only honors Rutka's memory, but also makes her poignant words accessible to a global audience. And most importantly, it transcends the linguistic, generational, and cultural barriers. And I'm really thankful to David and Yahav, who put in all their skills into this project. And, by leveraging this AI technology in such a way, we aim to ensure that Rutka's voice and the voices of many others continue to resonate with people from diverse backgrounds, fostering empathy, understanding, and a deeper connection to the lessons of the Holocaust. And I'm very excited to see this project being piloted in the Boca Raton Community High School, thanks to another of our participant in the course, Maureen Carter. So I think that by integrating this project into school curriculum, it'll inspire a sense of responsibility and compassion among the young adults. And I'm very eager to see how this project will shape up the young minds and hearts of the future. And lastly, I must say, I have been very, very grateful to get exceptional guidance from you and Professor Boaz Cohen. So throughout the course, every Thursday, you both have provided invaluable support and encouragement right since the beginning, when you had no clue what our project was all about. And so I'm very sure that with your continued support, I'm confident that such projects will make a meaningful difference in the lives of students and communities worldwide. And I also look forward to the annual conference that we talked about.
Since it's your additional project, could you share something about your vision? We were so happy when you initiated it. We have been doing this course for the last 4 years already, and we are, of course, very proud that it is sustained. But when you came with the idea of having an annual conference, it was such a happy moment for me. So if you could, and you are going to be the champion, you are going to lead this new project. So could you share more about your vision and how you see it develop?
Sure, Professor, because I think we are meeting a few days after for this meeting of the project. And the idea basically, every Thursday you brought in guest speakers, which was very, inspiring for me as a learner in the course. And then I thought that how about having an annual conference of the same, where, because we have now become a close-knit community through this course of Holocaust memory. And then I thought about, let's have an annual conference, where everybody, the aspiring students, the past participants, the alumni, and the aspiring future participants would all get together and, be inspired from each other. And because as you could see in the course, there were many, many people who had the same ideas. And so that was my main, trigger to, plan this annual conference. And I think through this conference, it will not only give a platform for, diverse ideas, but I think the best part of this annual conference would be that it is, accessible to a global audience and it has a global background. So I'm really eager to discuss it further with you and Professor Boaz and the other participants in the coming weeks that we have decided for the meeting. And let's see, what are we up to and how it shapes up. Because And of course, if it will be a success, then let's also have something in, we could publish our papers through this conference, and publish our projects in writing so that something is there in writing as well.
Wow. I really look forward to it. This is so exciting and moving. Unbelievable. You
Same
are a
here.
real entrepreneur. You are a real entrepreneur. Um, so I know that you initiated more projects, and one of them is so very moving and so very successful at the same time. And I speak, of course, about the concert. So I thought that it's a good idea that you tell our viewers about your other initiative, which only goes to show that you are a real entrepreneur and you deserve to to share your experience with the status readers and viewers. So tell us a little about your other project.
Okay, so basically my plans, they involve continuing to expand the Holocaust education and remembrance efforts, particularly within the diverse and underrepresented communities. And I aim to develop more interdisciplinary projects that bridge gaps between literature, history, and trauma studies. And as I said, that I'm involved with various other institutions and organizations in many capacities. So to begin with, there is this GCRR, which is the Global Center for Religious Research, founded by Dr. Darren Slade. And I serve there as the head as well as the program director of Holocaust studies. And this position, apart from teaching about the Holocaust, it also enables me to organize conferences. For instance, from 2022, we have started an international e-conference on Holocaust studies in collaboration with the Eckermann Center of Holocaust Studies at UT Dallas. And then, so you have participants, from all across the globe that would come, they come and they discuss their projects, their, writings with us, and it's amazing. So next is Teach the Shoah, founded by Dr. Deborah Fripp, where I am a regular Holocaust storyteller. And I'm also a part of the interfaith community. And I'm also excited to share that on July 21st, I'll be narrating, I'll be again the Holocaust storyteller, and I'll be narrating Rutka Laske's a few excerpts from her diary. So then there is this, I'm also a part of ISGAP, which is the Institute for the Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy. And I convened a seminar series on Holocaust and literature that ran from October 2023 till April this year. And we are now in the process of publishing an edited volume on the series of the lectures presented. Then I am also the member of NIHE, which is the Network for Innovative Holocaust Education, founded by Adi Rabinowitz-Bedin last year. And we hold talk sessions on a regular basis. I'm also a part of editorial board of the journal Digital Holocaust Memory. It's led by Dr. Victoria Grace Walden. So this journal is a part of the work of the Landecker Digital Memory Lab, funded by the Alfred Landecker Foundation. And it's positioned across the Sussex Weidenfeld Institute for Jewish Studies and Sussex Digital Humanities Lab at the University of Sussex. I am also a contributor to Project Inge, led by Dr. Stephen Smith, Writing on the Wall project, an initiative by Professor William Kohlbrenner, started right after October 7th, and of course, a participant in your course.
Do you get to sleep? You are really an entrepreneur.
I mean, I'm just doing my bit because, while I may not be the first to address the issues of Holocaust in India, but I am dedicated to contributing its awareness and understanding. And as you very correctly said, last month I hosted the film screening of Defiant Requiem for the Indian audience. And it was the first of its kind. And last year, I was also interviewed regarding the Bollywood movie Bawal, which claims to be the first Indian movie depicting the theme of the Holocaust. And I have a podcast on that as well. And besides, I'm often invited for lectures on Holocaust education in India. So I'm contributing my bit. Encouraging discussions and educating people about the Holocaust is crucial for promoting understanding, acceptance, and a collective commitment to preventing similar tragedies from occurring again. So,
Amazing. Would you say that there is a growing interest in India regarding Holocaust studies?
I think there is a beginning curiosity regarding the Holocaust education in India, because I have taught in several colleges of the University of Delhi. And wherever I had a chance to teach, to just bring in the topic of Holocaust studies, I would do that part. And for instance, when I taught Shakespeare and drama, and we discussed about the Merchant of Venice, the character of Shylock, so I subtly brought in the issue of anti-Semitism, and I could see that the young minds were very curious to learn more. So that I see as a positive step. Of course, you need educators in India, Holocaust educators in India, to give that sound knowledge of the Holocaust to the youth. And talking about India, the situation is a bit complex because, there is this indifference in the Indian audience, I would say. And whenever I talk about Holocaust education in India, I always say that there are four major reasons where I think, this indifference shows up. So first is the alienation effect. The Holocaust is viewed as an alien event, as a far off event. And so this distant geographical locale is accompanied by a lack of empathy subsequently. Then the Holocaust years were also the time when India was steeped in its own freedom struggles. So there is this overarching shadow of the Indian partition. And it's these events that tend to overshadow the catastrophe of the Holocaust many times. And very frequently, partition of India sometimes is also referred to as the Indian Holocaust. And, there are also books titled The Holocaust of Indian Partition, Bengal's Hindu Holocaust. And there are also pictures entitled India's Secret Holocaust, The Forgotten Holocaust, and the Original Holocaust that, further accompany this notion of equating the Indian partition with the Holocaust, which I often think that it's a case of Holocaust theft and comparison. And then the third reason would be that the Holocaust is mentioned as a passing reference in the school textbooks, and it's an optional course in the universities, especially in the Delhi University. So the NCERT, that is the National Council of Education, Research and Training, it's an autonomous body that is responsible for designing the school curriculum. And they are the standard school textbooks prescribed throughout the Indian schools, though some of the states have their own state boards. And I would like to mention here that the class 9th social science textbook, it has an entire chapter of over 100 pages devoted to Nazism. But the word Holocaust is mentioned only thrice, and out of which only one reference is the description, and it's described as the Nazi killing operations. So the Holocaust, has a diluted introduction, I would say. And Hitler is presented as a powerful leader, passionate about restoring the dignity of the German nation to compensate for the losses of the First World War. And then likewise, the Delhi University Master's Syllabi, it has an optional course on violence and memory studies. But firstly, it depends on the number of students taking up that course. And secondly, out of all the 4 units, only the first unit is given to teach about the Holocaust, and that too only through one memoir of Primo Levi. And even the secondary readings, they avoid reference to any Holocaust text. And lastly, which is there is the biggest, I would say it's the biggest deterring factor, which is the case of Hitler. And, there is this curious case of Hitler cult. The name Hitler is used as a brand name for something or someone very authoritative. And it's used as a common trope in Bollywood movies and soap operas to depict a commanding protagonist. And, but unfortunately, the fascination for Hitler goes beyond this. So there is an ice cream brand, a cloth shop named after him. And when the owner of this Hitler ice cream stall, he was interviewed, he said that he had an uncle who was very strict and authoritative like Hitler. So likewise, when the cloth shop owner was interviewed, he said, if Hitler did something in Germany, should that be our concern? So such is the captivating image of Hitler that in 2018, there is a person called Mr. Naramali Sivaprasad. He is an Indian film actor turned politician, and he attended the parliament dressed up as Hitler. And in order to show his difference of opinion with the other members. And when he was questioned about his choice, he said, "What I am doing will grab attention quickly and make people think." So, and you also have a website called Colorpur, which sells Hitler merchandise. Then you have Amazon India, Flipkart, IndiaMart, that has even Hitler floor cleaners and Hitler germ fighter skincare available in 3 distinct flavors. And then you have the sales of Mein Kampf. They have shown a steady rise in India. So in 2011, for instance, it was the #1 best-selling book on Amazon India. And when I probed deeper, I found out that out of the 22 official languages of India, Hitler's Mein Kampf has been translated into almost 14 or 15 languages. The most popular one being Hindi, spoken by a majority of Indians. And also the comic books, the Hitler comic books have made their way into the bookshops where they are placed with the famous personalities of India. So a lot needs to be done in India. And that's why when I participated in your project, I focused on translation because translations are important. And that's why, my wish and urge was to develop Rutka's diary, the excerpt from the Rutka's diary into 5 languages. And I emphasized one of them being Hindi so that even I could, further circulate it among the Indian schools because translation has a huge impact.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know all of that. Amazing. You really are doing what we call impact innovation. A very important impact. We really look forward to it. Unbelievable. So, a little about the future. You are only, how old are you? Tell our audience.
Early 30s.
You are in your early 30s and you have accomplished so much. And you have such a great impact in India and beyond. And now let's talk about the future, since you are a great entrepreneur. So, what is your dream about your future career?
As I said, I would be very happy and glad to disseminate the Holocaust education and its awareness in India. And, somebody asked me that if you get a job or if you settle elsewhere in abroad, how would you pursue your goal? And I think the world has become a global village now, and you don't necessarily have to be in India to disseminate, to create awareness about the Holocaust in India. So, having said that, when I think that how can we teach about the Holocaust in India, I often think about, having such a way that would foster empathy, because the word empathy and the word connections are very important for these young minds to connect with the story of the Holocaust and to, deconstruct this image that India was, steeped in its own freedom struggle during the Holocaust years, and it had nothing to do with the Holocaust. So I, interestingly, during my research years, I found some very interesting examples that can serve, as entry wedges in creating awareness regarding the Holocaust in India. So the first example is about the case of Maharaja Digvijay Singh Jadeja. So he was the Maharaja of Gujarat, and Maharaja means prince, who in 1942 gave refuge to 1,000 Polish Jewish children. And he's popularly known as Indian Oscar Schindler. So he not only gave refuge, but also hired teachers for them, as well as a Polish chef, because these little children, they were not used to eating the Indian spicy food. And to honor him, there is a square in Warsaw, and there is also a school named after him. And the next example is of Princess Noor Inayat Khan. She's famously referred to as the Spy Princess. And she's a descendant of Tipu Sultan, again, Indian origin, who later on became the most celebrated British spy and fought against the Nazis. And there is a writer, Shrabani Basu. She has written about Noor Inayat in her book, Spy Princess, and it provides a realistic account of her life. And when I interviewed the author, Shrabani Basu, she revealed about the tedious journey of obtaining information regarding Noor's life and told me how, with her courage, she tackled both the causes of Indian independence as well as that of the British. So you see that what I want to put forward is that while India's involvement in the Holocaust was limited because she was steeped in her own freedom struggle, yet meaningful connections can be traced through her role as she served as a haven for Jewish refugees, which I think can be an important factor in creating awareness regarding the Holocaust in India.
Wow. I have learned so much from you, even in this interview. Amazing. We could go on forever because you have accomplished so much and you tell stories in such a beautiful way. But unfortunately, we have to finish soon. So before we finish, would you like to share anything with the readers of our magazine? It's mostly Israeli, and since it's in English, and we have already quite a few interviews and papers in English, because we believe, like you, that the world is a global village, you can get access to a very unusual community of managers, executives, entrepreneurs, etc., who I believe can get a lot of inspiration from you. So, do you want to leave with some advice?
Yes, I think I would just touch upon a topic that I have been asked many times. Since you do not have a personal connection with the Holocaust, um, so how do you connect yourself to the event? And I think that would be a nice way to conclude. And it would also summarize my academic journey. So, yes, while I do not have a personal connection to the Holocaust, my work in this field has become deeply personal. So, through extensive research, survivor interviews, and discussions with trauma experts, I have developed profound empathy and commitment to preserving and disseminating the stories of those who experienced the Holocaust. And this work is fueled by a personal mission to ensure that these narratives are remembered and understood by future generations. So I would say that my engagement with Holocaust studies is driven by academic and educational interests, which is more personal than a personal history. And an extension of this is also the need for humanity, along with the virtues of compassion, empathy, remembrance, and vigilance. And sadly, there seems to be a paucity of these virtues in the world. And these values transcend not only the spatial and temporal boundaries, but also the boundaries of religion and nationality. And these values also form the cornerstone of a more just and inclusive society, a world where every individual is seen, heard, and valued, and where the bonds of humanity unite us in our shared journey towards a brighter future.
Wow. I'm 82 years old, and you are in your early 30s, and you are a great source of inspiration for me, honestly. So I would like to thank you very much and to assure you that we are here to support you in any way that you wish. I really look forward to meeting you one day face to face. Zoom is great, but I really would love to give you a big, big hug because you deserve it. And I look forward to your project of the annual conference of our graduates, of our growing community of entrepreneurs and innovators in memory of the Holocaust. I would like to finish with my personal need to remind us all that this year the subtitle of our course was Now More Than Ever. And this is because of what happened to us here in Israel on October 7th. And I am so grateful that you participated in this very special year in our very special course. So many, many thanks, dear Dr. Burza. You are a real gift to all of us, and we look forward to a great continuing friendship with you. So
Likewise.
thank you very much. And see you soon. See you soon.
See you.
Developing the projects together.
Yes, I'm very excited for our next meeting, which is on the annual conference to discuss the details. And thank you to you and Professor Boaz Cohen for being, such a wonderful source of encouragement, throughout this course and from which further offshoots would spring up.
Thank you. Bye bye now. A big hug. Thank you very
Bye.
much, Mehak. Bye bye.